Doctor, my blood pressure is just 88/55, but low blood pressure is good, right? That's what Mary, 74 years old, whispered during her routine checkup. Like many seniors, she believed the lower the better, as if blood pressure worked like weight or blood sugar. But here's the truth. Blood pressure isn't just a number. It's the force that keeps your body alive. Think of blood pressure as a river flowing through your body. When the water runs strong, it nourishes the land. But when the river runs dry, even if it looks peaceful, the trees wither, the crops fail, and life suffers. That's what happens when blood pressure drops too low, especially in older adults. The brain doesn't get enough blood, leading to dizziness, confusion, or fainting. The heart races to compensate, putting extra stress on an already aging muscle. The legs may fail, causing falls that lead to broken hips, hospitalization, or worse. And the most tragic part? Most seniors never see it coming. They think, I don't have high blood pressure, so I must be okay. But sometimes what you think is safe is actually silently dangerous. In the next part, we'll uncover why low blood pressure is especially risky for people over 60 and why many doctors miss the signs. And stay with us, because in part 4, we'll reveal the exact numbers when blood pressure becomes too low and how to spot the early warnings before they become a crisis. For most of our lives, we've been told one thing: lower is better. Lower cholesterol, lower blood sugar, lower weight. So when your blood pressure reads 90/60 or even lower, it feels like you've won a prize. But here's the catch. Blood pressure isn't like weight or sugar. It's not something you want to shrink to the smallest number possible. In fact, when blood pressure drops too low, especially in older adults, it stops being a silent protector and becomes a quiet threat. Let's break it down. What is low blood pressure? Medically, low blood pressure is often defined as anything below 90/60 millimeters of mercury. But that number alone doesn't tell the whole story. For some young, healthy individuals, like athletes, a lower blood pressure can be completely normal. But in someone over 60, it's a different story entirely. Imagine you're watering your garden with a hose. If the pressure is strong, the water reaches every flower. But if the pressure drops, even by a little, the water trickles out. The plants farthest from the hose, your brain, your heart, your kidneys, start to dry out. And here's the twist most people miss. It's not just the number that matters, it's how your body feels. You could have a reading of 88/56 and feel perfectly fine. Or you could have 95/65 and experience blurred vision, weakness, cold, clammy skin, dizziness when standing up, even fainting. In older adults, these symptoms aren't just annoying, they can be life-altering. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related deaths in seniors, and one of the hidden causes? Undetected low blood pressure, a brain that isn't well fed with oxygen, bones that break too easily, medications that make it worse without warning signs. In the next section, we'll explore why older adults are more vulnerable to these hidden dangers and how a simple daily habit, like standing up too fast, could send you or a loved one to the ER. Stick around, because in part 4, we'll pinpoint the exact numbers that turn low into dangerous and how to track them before they track you. Let's imagine this. You're 72 years old. You wake up, swing your legs off the bed, stand up to head to the kitchen, and suddenly the world tilts. Your vision darkens, your knees give way, you hit the floor. This isn't just a bad morning. This is orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when you stand up, and it's shockingly common in seniors. You see, as we age, our blood vessels lose elasticity, the rebound system that adjusts pressure when we move from sitting to standing. It becomes sluggish, like an old thermostat trying to catch up. In a younger body, the heart and blood vessels react instantly. In an older body, it's like trying to start an old car in the cold. Slow, strained. Sometimes it doesn't respond in time. What's the cost? Falls that cause broken hips, head trauma from fainting, emergency room visits that turn into hospital stays, a spiral of fear that makes people afraid to move, exercise, or live freely. One fall can change everything. A confident, independent senior becomes wheelchair-bound. A routine morning becomes a month-long recovery in rehab. And sometimes, low blood pressure doesn't even wait for you to stand up. It quietly robs your brain of oxygen while you're sitting, walking, even talking. You may feel foggy, forgetful, or unsteady, not realizing your pressure has dipped too low to keep your brain fully awake. In fact, research has linked chronic low blood pressure with increased risks of cognitive decline and dementia in older adults. In short, low blood pressure in seniors isn't always safe. It can be a slow erosion of independence, clarity, and strength. So, if you're over 60 and experience dizziness, fatigue, feeling off or confused, or you've fallen recently, don't write it off. Don't blame age. Don't ignore the signs. Because in Part 4, we'll reveal the specific numbers you should watch for when low blood pressure crosses the line from normal to dangerous, and what your doctor might not tell you. Let's clear up a big myth. Low blood pressure is not always a problem until it is. That's what makes it so tricky, especially in older adults. Unlike high blood pressure, which comes with bold red numbers and clear warnings, low blood pressure often whispers until it screams. What numbers are too low? In general, below 90/60 millimeters of mercury is considered low. But here's the catch. Some people live with numbers like 85/55 and feel fine. So when does it become dangerous? When symptoms show up. If your blood pressure dips and you feel lightheaded or dizzy, especially when standing, faint or unsteady, weak or tired without cause, blurred vision, cold, clammy skin, confused or mentally foggy, then your low number has crossed into danger zone, no matter what the reading says. Watch out for positional drops. There's one hidden form of low BP that often goes undiagnosed: orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when you go from lying down to standing. Here's how it works. You're lying in bed. Everything feels fine. You sit up, feel a little dizzy, you stand, and boom, the room spins. Why does this happen? As we age, our circulatory reflexes slow down. The blood pools in your legs, and not enough rushes back to your brain. Want to know if this is happening to you? Try this. Take your blood pressure after lying down for 5 minutes. Then sit up, wait 1 minute, and take it again. Then stand, wait 1 more minute, and take it a 3rd time. If your systolic drops by 20 points or more, or if symptoms appear, you may be dealing with orthostatic hypotension. The problem? Many doctors don't check for it. Routine visits often include 1 blood pressure reading, usually while sitting. That's not enough. This kind of drop won't show up unless you check it while changing positions. If you've ever felt wobbly after getting up, don't ignore it. Falls and confusion may seem like signs of aging, but they might be signs of undiagnosed low blood pressure. In Part 5, we'll uncover the most common causes of low blood pressure in seniors, including one that might be hiding in your medicine cabinet right now. So now we know that low blood pressure can be dangerous, especially when it brings symptoms or strikes suddenly. But why does it happen? Let's open the curtain on the most common, yet often overlooked, causes of low blood pressure in older adults. So now we know that low blood pressure can be dangerous, especially when it brings symptoms or strikes suddenly. But why does it happen? Let's open the curtain on the most common, yet often overlooked, causes of low blood pressure in older adults. 1. Medications, a double-edged sword. Many seniors take medications for high blood pressure, heart conditions, or even depression. But here's what most people don't realize. The same pills that protect you can push your pressure too low. Diuretics, water pills, may reduce fluid in your body, lowering blood volume. Beta blockers can slow your heart too much. AC inhibitors, or ARBs, may drop pressure unexpectedly. Even antidepressants can cause dips in blood pressure, especially when standing. If you've recently started or changed a medication and notice more fatigue, dizziness, or unsteadiness, talk to your doctor immediately. 2. Dehydration, the silent drain. As we age, our sense of thirst fades. Many older adults don't even realize they're dehydrated until it's too late. Imagine trying to inflate a balloon with half the air. That's what your heart faces when your body lacks enough fluid to maintain blood pressure. Hot weather, certain medications, or even mild illnesses like diarrhea can make things worse. Tip: keep a water bottle nearby and drink even when you're not thirsty. 3. Underlying health conditions. Heart failure or bradycardia, slow heart rate, can lower blood flow. Parkinson's disease affects the nervous system's ability to regulate pressure. Diabetes can damage nerves that help control blood pressure regulation. Adrenal gland disorders or internal bleeding, even small, can trigger sudden, severe drops. Sometimes, low pressure isn't the illness, it's the red flag. 4. Sedentary lifestyle. Too little movement weakens your circulatory system. Your body forgets how to push blood upward when standing. That's why long bed rest or inactivity can lead to a drop when you finally move. The solution? Small, regular movement, even walking around the house, can train your body to regulate pressure better. Let's imagine a familiar story. Frank is 78. He's been managing high blood pressure for years. His doctor adjusted his meds last month, and at his last home check, his numbers were 112/58. He smiled and said, "Finally, my blood pressure is perfect." But 2 days later, he collapsed in his kitchen. What went wrong? The answer is one of the most common and dangerous mistakes seniors make: focusing on the numbers, ignoring the symptoms. The numbers aren't everything. Yes, high blood pressure is dangerous, but there's a line, and going below it isn't always better. Think of your blood pressure like tire pressure on a car. Too much, and the tire might burst. But too little, the car can't drive properly, and you risk crashing. It's the same with your heart and brain. Too little pressure, and these organs don't get the fuel they need, especially in older adults. When medications go too far. Many seniors are prescribed 2 or more blood pressure medications, or meds that interact, example, diuretics plus heart rate controllers. This can lead to a slow decline that's easy to miss. You feel weaker, but chalk it up to aging. You're dizzy, but blame it on getting up too fast. You fall and think it's just one of those things. But what if it's not age? What if it's over-medication? If this sounds familiar, maybe it's your spouse, your parent, or even you, don't ignore it. Ask your doctor, are my medications making my blood pressure too low? And if this video feels important, share it with someone you love. It might prevent a fall, or even save a life. In Part 7, we'll show you simple, practical things you can do at home to support healthier blood pressure, especially if you've been feeling lightheaded, tired, or off. By now you've seen how low blood pressure isn't always a blessing, especially for those over 60. But here's the good news. You have more control than you think. Sometimes it's not about adding another medication. It's about making a few smart, gentle shifts in your daily routine that help your body naturally stabilize blood pressure and avoid sudden dips. Let's dive in. 1. Hydration, your natural pressure booster. Dehydration is one of the most overlooked causes of low blood pressure. Think of your bloodstream like a garden hose. Without enough water, there's no pressure, and the flow slows to a trickle. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. Start your morning with a full glass before coffee or tea. Sip steadily throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty. 2. Salt. Yes, salt, if your doctor allows. In many cases, increasing salt intake slightly can help raise low blood pressure, but only if your doctor agrees. Salt helps your body hold on to water, which increases blood volume and pressure. Try adding a pinch of sea salt to your meals, or sipping a warm broth with lunch. Important: always ask your healthcare provider first, especially if you have kidney issues or heart failure. 3. Compression stockings. Not just for veins. These gentle, snug socks help prevent blood from pooling in your legs, which is a major cause of dizziness when standing. Wear them during the day, especially if you're on your feet for long periods. 4. Change positions slowly. If you stand up too fast, your blood pressure can drop before your body catches up. Imagine jumping out of bed without checking the floor first. You might trip over something unseen. Sit up slowly from lying down. Pause on the edge of the bed for 30 seconds. Then stand gradually. 5. Smaller, more frequent meals. Large meals can divert blood to your digestive system, leaving less for your brain and heart. Try 4 to 5 smaller meals daily. Avoid heavy carbs at lunch. They can cause a post-meal dip. These simple changes may seem small, but for seniors with low blood pressure, they can dramatically reduce falls, fatigue, and fogginess. In the next part, we'll walk through the red flags that mean it's time to call your doctor, including some symptoms you might be ignoring right now. Let's face it, many seniors chalk things up to just getting older. You feel tired, dizzy, maybe your memory is slipping. You stumble now and then, or even fall. But what if those are more than aging? What if they're your body waving a red flag, begging for help? Low blood pressure is often missed because it doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just whispers, day after day, until something big happens. These are the moments to call your doctor. You're feeling faint or dizzy, frequently, especially when standing or getting out of bed. You've had 1 or more falls recently. Don't dismiss them as clumsiness. Falls are the leading cause of serious injury in seniors, and low blood pressure is often behind them. You feel confused, foggy, or off balance. If your thinking feels slower or you're forgetting more than usual, it may not be memory loss. It could be your brain lacking oxygen. Your systolic pressure regularly reads below 100, especially if you're also on blood pressure meds. You see unusual signs: black or tarry stools, which could mean internal bleeding, chest pain or cold sweats, purple spots or bruises without explanation. These are not normal parts of aging. They're alerts. What to bring to your appointment: a log of your daily blood pressure readings, a list of symptoms and when they occur, your full medication list, even a video of you walking or standing if you feel unstable. Help your doctor see the full picture so they can treat the person, not just the number. What's the just right blood pressure range for older adults? And why too low or too high can both be dangerous if you're over 60.
If there's one thing we've learned in this journey, it's this. Health isn't about chasing extremes. It's about finding the right balance. Just like a tightrope walker needs perfect tension, not too loose, not too tight, your body needs just enough blood pressure to carry oxygen to the brain, the heart, and every vital organ. So, what's just right for seniors? For many older adults, the ideal resting blood pressure range is systolic, top number, 120 to 140 millimeters of mercury, diastolic, bottom number, 70 to 90 millimeters of mercury. But remember, it's not just about the numbers. It's about how you feel, your level of activity, whether or not symptoms are present, and what other conditions you're managing, like diabetes, heart disease, or kidney issues. A blood pressure of 115/75 may be perfect for one person and dangerously low for another. That's why individualized care matters. A good doctor won't just treat your numbers, they'll treat you. Why too low can be just as risky as too high. Too high, and you risk strokes, heart attacks, and kidney damage. Too low, and you risk falls, confusion, and organ underperfusion. It's like being on a seesaw. Tip too far in either direction, and you're off balance. The goal isn't to beat blood pressure, it's to stabilize it, monitor it, and listen to your body. And in our final part, we'll wrap up everything you've learned and reveal one key mindset shift that could protect you and your loved ones from future blood pressure dangers. Let's go back to the beginning. Mary thought her low blood pressure was a sign of good health. She felt a little tired, sometimes dizzy, but ignored it, until the day she fainted in her kitchen and woke up in a hospital bed. Her numbers were beautiful on paper, but her body had been begging for help. Don't let that be your story. Here's what to remember. Low blood pressure is not always harmless. Symptoms matter more than numbers. Falls, fatigue, and brain fog are not just aging. They can be red flags. Balance, not extremes, is the goal. Your health is a delicate harmony. Too high, and the system bursts. Too low, and the system starves. But just right? That's where life flows freely.